Hi everyone and welcome back to Newegg TV. My name is Paul. Today we're going to be doing a quick unboxing and an overview of the Kingwin Lazer Performance series of power supplies. We have an 850 watt model and a 1000 watt model here. There's also a 750 watt model available, but we're going to open these boxes up and see what is included. So here's a look at the box for the Lazer 1000 watt version, and we're just going to really quickly go over some of the features that they show here on the box. Here you can see that they actually have a three-way LED switch that will turn the LEDs on the power supply from white to blue to off. Also, they have universal modular connectors. They're calling these Crystal Cube patented modular connectors, which means that all of those modular plugs on the back of the power supply are all the same. So any type of modular plug that you have that you're looking to plug in, you don't need to search around and find the right plug. You can just use any of the ones that are available. On the opposite side of the box here, there are some more specifications, and they also have this listing of features. These are the Crystal Cube connectors. It also has serial ATA power support. It has a 4+4-pin ATX 12-volt connector. It also has a dedicated 8-pin EPS 12-volt connector. It looks like we have a couple PCI Express or SLI power plugs, a 6-pin and a 6+2. Also, again, over here, right there is the three-way LED switch. Active power factor correction of greater than 0.995. Also, efficiency rating is 87% with a 50% load. Also, they are stating that it has low noise as well as the LED fan. For all of this text over here, there is a bunch of CPUs that are supported, as well up to and including the Core i7 CPUs as well as the Phenom X4s and X6s. It is compliant with ATX 12-volt. Pretty much just a restatement of some of the pictures that we already went over right over there. So that's about enough for the outside of the box. Let's open it up and see what the power supply itself looks like. Alright, here is your manual. Here is a clamshell case with all of your modular cables. So actually, let's go over these first. There's a look at the crystal connector. It's just a block white cable design. All right, so here's looks like 4 Molex and 1 floppy power. This is a PCI Express power plug, 6+2, so you can use a 6-pin, use it as a 6-pin or an 8-pin. Another 6+2 PCI Express. Here's a single 6-pin PCI Express and another single 6-pin PCI Express. So total PCI Express power connectors, you have 2 6-pins and 2 6+2 pins. So 2 6s, 2 8s. Here is a serial ATA power adapter. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 serial ATA power plugs on that one. Another one of the same variety, 4 serial ATA power plugs. And then one more Molex plug, although this one does not have the floppy power. So this one just has 4 Molex power plugs. Alright, here's the 1000 watt power supply itself, neatly packed in bubble wrap. And there is the 140 millimeter cooling fan that you have that's on the bottom of the unit. There's the fancy Lazer logo. There's the back where you have the exhaust as well as your power plug and on-off switch. Here is the permanently connected bundle of cables, which has an additional PCI Express power. So that's actually one more 6-pin and one more 6+2. So that's additional PCI Express power plugs there. Here is your EPS 12-volt 8-pin power supply. Here is your ATX 12-volt 4+4-pin for supplemental motherboard power. And here is your motherboard power plug, which is that's actually 20-pin plus 4 pins. So it will fit either 20-pin motherboard power connectors or 24-pin motherboard main power connectors. Those are all bundled up there. And then there's a look at your modular power supply connectors, and each of these is covered by a protective little rubber grommet there. So there is your crystal connector there. There is a latch on one side of that. Just line that up with the notch right there. and it plugs in and locks. So there are 8 modular connectors here on the back of the power supply. Now, as mentioned at the beginning, we also have the 850 watt version of this power supply right here. I'm assuming that everything is roughly the same as far as the included connectors and everything goes, but we're just going to go through here to double check. Here is, this is actually, so it looks like the adapters might be a little bit different. This is 3 Molex connectors on that one. Here is an 6+2 PCI Express power, another 8+2 PCI Express power. We also have 2 single 6-pin PCI Express power cables there. Here is a SATA power with 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Another SATA power adapter with 4 more SATA power plugs. And 1 more Molex plug with 3 Molex power plugs, as well as a single floppy power plug. That's what you get for adapters. I should mention these come with nice thumb screws for mounting. Here's your standard power plug. And one other difference for the 850 watt version is for the connectors on the back. We do have the 20+4. We also have the ATX 12 volt power that is a 4+4 plug. So that will work for ATX or EPS power for supplemental motherboard power. And that is all the plugs that we have at the back. So it looks like 850 watt, you would have enough power plugs for PCI Express if you're running 2 cards that each have at least a 6-pin PCI Express power requirement. 1000 watt version has enough PCI Express power plugs that you could actually do 3 video cards that each require at least a 6-pin PCI Express power. Last but not least, these do have a light up feature. So we're going to wire up the 1000 watt version here, and we're going to turn the lights off to show you what the LEDs look like. All right, so our lights are off mostly, and we've wired this up using the paperclip trick. You can look it up. All right, so there is the blue LED light in the 140mm fan. At the back of the unit right here next to where the power plugs in is a switch. So you can switch that down to switch it to white LEDs. And if you switch it down one more, that turns the LEDs off. So nice and accessible there at the back of the computer once it's actually installed. I'm going to switch back to blue here. And then for our modular connectors here, the way this works is when you plug in a modular cable, such as this one, and that little modular output lights up. So you can easily look and see which of your modular cables are plugged in, or you can just have a nice light show inside your computer in blue, white, or off. Alright folks, that does it for today's unboxing and overview of the Kingwin Lazer Performance Series of power supplies, 850 and 1000 watt versions. I'm Paul with Newegg TV. We'll see you next time.